And welcome back. We're just about to make a rover landing here. Or not a rover landing. It always says rover, so I start to call it a rover. A lander. A lander landing. So we're letting MechJet land this. This is in a giant crater. I've manually landed all this other stuff that you see here. It can be done, but I'm trying to do this with 800 Delta V. So if I'm lucky, I'll have a handful left. If I'm unlucky, I'll run out in the last 5 seconds. So we'll see how it goes. I have the other lander already landed at the other site. I need to do a refueling maneuver. So I'll go ahead and, once this guy's down, I'll switch over to them and then do the refueling. Okay, it's doing the retro burn. Last couple times I came down, I actually came down on top of a lander, on top of an old lander. I came down practically on top of another vehicle. So I changed these by 10 in hopes that I don't land on top of anything else. There's a lot of clutter here, so I guess we'll find out as we come down. I decided to change the tunes. I'm just running an online radio, so if you're wondering what's playing, I have no control over it. It's just, I kind of got tired of listening to Mission Control Radio Shatter, and, you know, my playlist is, I've been rocking that playlist for the last week, so just a little bit of change for the rest of the night here. It's Sunday night. I have about 2 hours before bedtime, so this is a sort of a wind-down activity. I'm going to switch over to the more exciting vehicle. I already have the gear down. All I have to do is make sure that if it flips over on the on this side, so that the rover doesn't get messed up. If everything comes down in one piece, we're good. If it flips over on its back, or any of this gets destroyed in any way, we have to start over again. So this is the second attempt on this one, so we'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, because it's lining up, it's not going along. So you just have to bear with it. Here's the big ass crater. I mean, look how huge this thing is. We certainly won't be driving out of this, but it's so big that there's actually some cool stuff to run around and look at. And really, I need to go over and visit this arch. So my first duty with this rover is going to be to go visit the last arch, so that I can finally complete this mission. This mission has literally been going on for 3 weeks, and I would really like to complete this last EVA. And then I need to find some way to fly this guy over the halfway across the moon to rescue a cell. The problem is I have no vehicle designed to return to Kerbin, but I think I can build one out of parts. So that's going to be one of my challenges, is to go ahead and build a return craft for Mel-Cel, or Micel, whatever, I'll just call her Micel. if I can somehow get it to lift off and head to Kerman, I don't have any heat shields, but I do have a parachute I can use. And I do have a lander can. And I do have fuel and engines. So it should be theoretically possible for me to get her home, landed safely in one piece. And once I get her home landed safely in one piece, she becomes a member of my crew. So that's going to be a mission as well. So I got the rock arch, I got the rescue mission, I have the drilling, which I need to do drilling for carbonite to make fuel, and then I actually my next step after I get all the vehicles here and get the carbonite drilled is to actually start an actual moon base, the colony modules and everything. So that's one of the reasons why I designed such a heavy lifter. Moonlander 8 can actually haul 110-ton payload, so that should be enough to bring a lot of cool stuff here to this base. The problem with landing where we're landing is that there's very little in the way of flat surfaces. In fact, this is sort of on a curve. Hopefully, we don't run into any problems. The only problem I see, Delta V needed, Delta V total. We're really cutting it close. Like within 40, 50 Delta V, and that's within flame out of the airfield. So, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. So we can either run out of fuel, or we can land on a bad spot and flip out. So those are the two major things that can happen here. Or we can land fine, and then the vehicle somehow gets messed up. So there's nothing going on here. Fortunately, we're almost there. There's the 20% fuel warning. Oh, I forgot. There's another scenario. I can land on top of something else. So, yeah, there's a lot to do. It looks like my wheels are probably already aimed towards the downslope, so I'll just leave them where they're at. You can see I've done several missions to this spot. I already have vehicles here. I have a rover stranded out there, and I have Urson Kerman, a guy who hasn't had any oxygen, food, water, or anything for several days. Still alive. I might be able to rescue him at this point. But he's not really on my agenda. He does have an extra warm body up here for me, so bad. It looks like, if I'm estimating this properly, okay, that's the 10% warning, that probably won't land on top of anything else. We're getting pretty close to lander 2, though. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's trying to set me down on top of lander 2. You know, I picked the coordinates off on purpose so it wouldn't do this. And I don't think I can get lander 2 out of the way. I can't. Well, let's just see what happens. Maybe I can angle it in such a way that it falls properly. Oh, Delta V of 10 left. Okay, we're technically out of fuel. This way, this way, this way. Oh man, talk about luck. Talk about luck. I'm glad I got that on film, because that was a hell of a landing. Not only did I think I was going to land on top of this, but I rotated it at the last moment so the legs would miss. But I ran out of fuel. I literally ran out of fuel, what, about 2 meters or 3 meters or something, whatever it was, however many meters off the ground, like 10 meters probably. So I literally just fell, and then the landing gear absorbed the blow, and then I was able to rotate it in the air and bounce in such a way to land on the feet, and no damage done. We're here, man. That is awesome. You can see in Moonlander 2, this was one of my manual landings. Now you can see why I do them automated, because this guy kind of rolled on his side. I was still able to complete the mission. I left it here. Now that I have the new mod installed, it allows me to tear parts off of other craft. I can use this. This is a science lab.
You're listening to Lush on some FM.
I think that's a science lab. I'm not sure.
Free internet radio.
I have a lander can, batteries, solar panels, mono tanks. I have these docking ports, which allow me to do stuff. Like I got some of these extra jet things. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff I can salvage off of these craft once I get in here. And oh yes, I have other vehicles over here too. I have crap all over the place. Like I said, I have stranded rovers, that old version rovers flipped over out there without any power. I can always fly out and strip them down. Wow. Yeah, that was a pretty awesome landing, I must say. And you know what that means. Save the game. So we're at 63. Sweet. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just open one panel. Not like this thing needs the power when the daylight comes up, because I think the sun is not too far from... Yeah, there it is. The sun's not too far from rising. You can see the panel's already detecting it, so... Oh yeah, it's getting sun exposure. So that'll keep the juice flowing. I'm surprised this one over here still has power. This has been running for several game weeks. And it's still going, that one little solar panel. Excelente. Now I just have to try not to land on top of these two vehicles whenever I bring my other. I still have 2 more craft I have to bring here. So I'll try not to land on top of them. Excellent. Okay. Let's go into orbit. And this... Let's see. You know, I don't know how to get it to select other targets. From orbit. It won't let me zoom in any further, so I'm going to switch to this. I have to be careful. I'm at 3.4 gigs of memory. I can do probably... Oh, no more scene changes. I just crashed. Okay, I'll restart the recording. Okay, we're back. Not really sure why the game... whenever I'm running fraps and I switch ships, on the ground at least, it wasn't happening in space, but... it's blowing me out of the game when I'm running fraps. So I just went directly to these guys. These guys are at the other base. So I told you that I needed to drive this vehicle over to our Moonlander 8 for refueling. So let's go ahead and do this. Put the ladder up. I'm also going to open and close this because there is a bug that the ship will fall apart because the containers inside are touching the walls. It's a bug that a lot of people complain about. So the author of the mod said, well, just don't have stuff touch the walls. So once I get this vehicle where I want it to go permanently, I'm going to just pull those containers out, and then it won't be a problem with the ship falling apart. It'll literally just crumble in front of you, which is really weird. Okay, I still have the brakes on, but what I want to do to make this thing stable is lock the steering. We don't really need the back wheels to steer. And for the front, let's put the brakes down to a third. I remember this. I remember when you hit the brakes on this thing, it like almost flips over forwards, and I don't want that to happen. So, okay, that should be good. Hoodry and Elroy are having a great time here, so let's go ahead and cruise our way over. And this is the nice thing about building landers with wheels is you can actually be mobile. And this thing will drive really far. I actually did take on another save game that I went up overwriting. I took this thing as fast as I could, as far as I could. I got like, geez, what was it, like 10 kilometers or something at top speed. I was jumping over craters and stuff. It was pretty sick. I mean, because this thing's so big, and with the RCS system on, which I probably should put that on. Yeah, maybe I don't need it. I definitely need stability control on, because that'll actually help me prevent from flipping over. But I had this sucker really moving, man. I had the RCS and the stability on, so it wouldn't get too crazy. But, see, right now I have no hands on the keyboard. It's just coasting. But, yeah, I was super cruising in this thing, and I actually was taking off. I got to the point where I said, just for fun, I had fuel in here, I kicked this on, I went in orbit. You know, and that was driving on these wheels. So, these are designed for landing and takeoff, that's for sure. Okay, so we're coming up on the laning tower of Moonlander 8. Remember, this sucker is basically balancing on its engine. So I want to get pretty close. Oh, that's neat, I got my shadow on there. So, you know, semi-close. Let's just stop here. Stop, stop, stop! Okay, we need to back up. This is why I disabled rear steer. It actually makes the vehicle a lot more stable. Okay, that's probably good. Now, actually, what I want to do, I think, now it's kind of hard to tell which direction I'm actually at. Let me switch to the other ship. It's pointing towards the west at 270 degrees. So we know that towards Moonbase 3, that's 270, or close to it. We know it's west. Basically what I want to do is just make sure that I'm in a good position to take off. So we're here, and we need to go... Gee, that's literally on the other side of the planet. We need to go here. So we're going to have to get both of these ships into orbit in order to land in there. Because it's in such a deep crater with high walls, orbit's really the only way to do it. I don't think you could half-ass it by just going up to 10K and then landing. I don't think that'll really be possible. The trick is going to be to just transfer enough, basically split the fuel between these two ships. This one has a Delta V of 586, and that's nothing. This has a Delta V of 1902, so I could split the fuel so they both have at least 1200. That might be enough. I think it's 600 to land and 400 or 500 to get into orbit, so that leaves a 10% overhead. So you're probably wondering, how the hell am I going to transfer fuel between these two? Well, thanks to a very cool mod, we're going to ask Kudri to get out here. Check his inventory. Okay, he's good. He's going to equip his drill. Yeah, let's get him down to the cargo bay. And you see how those containers moved? That's the bug. Oh, cool. Okay, so we already have the connector ports in here that we need. So they're not in the higher cart. I was hoping they weren't at the top one, because then I have to climb up. That can be fun sometimes. Okay, so we just drag these from the internal container to my inventory. Or I should say, Kudri's inventory, not mine. Then I may as well hook it up to this one first, right? I think that's close enough. We're not more than 50 meters apart. This is the mod. This is the KISS, K-I-S, Kerbal Inventory System mod. Kerbal Attachment System is what you're about to see. These are two mods from the same author who combined the two recently. And, there's still some bugs and some issues, but it's game changing. It's literally game changing. It allows you to do all kinds of cool stuff on EVA that you couldn't do in the stock game, like tear apart and build ships. So I can also run a pipe between the two of these, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we just attach it, link. So now I'm carrying an actual pipe. See, one guy made this. This is just so cool. I should be able to... Oh, I forgot. I have lights. There we go. I can actually see. Take this guy. Put him there, and then link. Now, for all intents and purposes, these two ships are actually one. It makes them into one ship, so now I can transfer the fuel between them. So, go ahead. Switch to the ship, which, funny enough, the center of mass is in the middle of the hose. Okay, we want oxidizer and liquid fuel. This one is the one that's at 324, and this one I believe is the one that's full. Yes. Okay, so we want to transfer from the full one into the one that is less full. So we rock them at 16.2. Okay. It's interesting how it's pulling it out of the other one first. See the weight changing. See, that disturbs me. When I see it moving like that, I'm afraid it's going to fall over. Do I want to... Don't want to give him that much. Stop at 70. Okay. Now, which one is this? Okay, good. So shit. Let's lock this. Pump everything in here. Okay, so this one's got 60 and this one's got 70. Start going shifting weight again. Ooh, went over a little bit. Okay. Lock. Transfer in. Basically, I'm just putting all the remaining fuel into the big tank on the bottom for center of mass reasons. Okay, so I got 70% over in this one, so that's what we have to do in order to tell the delta V between the two ships is to separate them again. So he has to run up here and unlink. Okay. It's unlink. Okay. So what's our delta V here? 1200. Why is it not registered? Oh. Oh, it says it's at 0. Oh, because I have the tank disabled. Eh, well that would explain it. Okay, I transferred too much. This one has 1500, the other one has 1200. I want to try to get them as even as I can. So good old Hoodry is going to go ahead and run the pipe. Oh, he can. I was wondering if he can fly while he's carrying the pipe. I guess so. Link. Okay. Switch. You know, I need to really stop doing that. Liquid fuel oxidizer. Okay, so 70%'s too much. Let's try 60%. Let's do it this way. Woo. I need to slow this bugger down. Oh, of course I would do that. I need equal amounts of both. So, I'm going too slow. And it goes by percentage, not by the amount. So it uses an equal amount of both. So that's why I want to make sure that they remain even. Most bang for the buck. Okay. Hoodry. Link. I do that a million times. Okay, 1370. 1350. Okay. So we're good. We got the fuel transfer. That should be enough to get us to where we need to go. Let's switch back to Hoodry. And let's go ahead and open his inventory. I want to detach. Oops. Take these off. He can just hold on to him for now because we're going to need him again later. Grab. Detach. Alright. Now, of course, he can't lift off now. He's carrying two pipe thingies. Maybe I should put him in the container because I don't want to have him weighed down. He needs to go on EVA for some other reason. So let's stick him in here. Okay. Cool. Let's close the doors. That makes me nervous. Every time I see those doors move and everything shift like that, I just think this thing's gonna fall apart. I just didn't do a save game yet. I have to do this whole thing over again, this whole step. Okay, so Hoodry's done with the EVA, so he can get back in. Okay. Now, okay, now I need to get this thing upright. So that's why I have these Werner engines installed on the bottom, which they're both activated. Okay, that one is. That one was not. So those should provide enough force, especially since I'm already going downhill, to go vertical. Just put these legs down to catch my ass. Brakes are on. Should be as simple as kicking the RCS on and finding the right key, but before I do this, there's danger involved. 64. Just in case I flip it over or something, I don't want to have to do the refueling over again. It's, you know, you can see it a little time consuming. It's not the end of the world, but okay, RCS should be on. Let's just find the right key. That one. That's that one. Okay. So if this works, I should be able to just tilt myself upright and without flipping over. See, the trick is to put enough weight. Just enough so I can open the other leg and it not cause a major reaction. I'm trying to flip it over. Chill, chill, chill. Okay, we got it. Yeah, I can turn the RCS off. Don't need it. It'll stay there. Cool, so both ships are ready for liftoff. Now all I have to do, I think the target's already set. Should reuse it, I think. We need to make it from here all the way around to here. And it's actually not on an equilateral orbit, so I have to make an angle change as well. So actually what I want to do is, no, I'll just change the coordinates anyway. I'll leave the X where it is. What would be nice is to be able to set it to the actual flag, because there's nothing at the flag right now. That's what it is. It's moon base 2. That's the flag. You know, I can probably just copy those coordinates, because I know that's an empty spot. I can land right on top of that flag. No big deal. Okay, I actually wasn't paying attention. Which way is the shorter way? Probably this way, right? You know, it doesn't matter. It's equal. I'm gonna have to go into orbit. Yeah, it's gonna be a little touch and go going into orbit. I think I can use the ascent guidance for MechJeb. Okay, cool. It's already got some settings in here that are moon-based because we don't need to go in a very high orbit off at 10 kilometers. It's perfect. Inclination of 0. I guess I'll leave it at that. I don't really know from where we're at what that should be. If it should be plus 10 or minus 10, I'm not sure. I'll just leave it at 0. Active steering. Okay. Starting 500 meters. Let's set this at 7. 20% angle. That'll probably work. 10 kilometers is about as low as I'd really want to go. I can probably do 9 kilometers if I want to save. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. What if I can do 8 kilometers? I don't think I'll run into anything if I do 8 kilometers. That's going to be the absolute lowest I can go. I want to save as much fuel as I can, so let's change this to 6. Change this to 50. Actually, that might be too fast. 30. Turn in at 6. Orbit at 8. That should work. Make sure this is on. No, it's not. Make sure my throttle's off. It is. Okay, got about 2/3 of a tank of fuel. Hopefully that'll get us into orbit and landed at the base without any major issues. You know what I'm gonna do? I know it's just save game crazy, but it'll save my settings. I want to reuse all these settings if they work for the other ship. I figure I'll take this one in first. This one's more durable. This one is barely hanging on by a thread, plus I have the rocket issue. Landing on that is going to be hairy. So this one can fall over and it's not a problem. So let's as long as it's not on its back. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. I think all I have to do is count RCS on. Let's monitor our juice. This on time. I think we're good. All I have to do is hit engage autopilot. Well, that's cool. Watching it turn like that so quickly. That's pretty wild. Try to do that on see mountains like that. We don't want to hit it, but I think we're good. The catch here is just to get as low orbit as possible, just enough to clear the mountains. Since there's no atmosphere on this moon, you don't have to worry about drag, so you can fly at any altitude you like at any speed. You don't have to worry about any kind of drag effects. That's why I'm just leaving the gear and everything down.
This is Lash from Some FM. No commercials, just great music.
See, we're gonna have to do an adjustment to get in that crater. There's no point in trying to do it now. I could try to force it, but oh, it already got me up to 8. 800 Delta V. It doesn't have me in orbit yet, though. Yeah, the time's throwing me off. Oh wow, nice. Eight-kilometer orbit, and I still have 750 Delta V. That should be plenty to land. Nice. Yeah, that really helped me out. Really conserves of fuel when you just when you set what you want it to do, and then let the computer just be so precise, and you end up having. See, if I would have done that myself, I probably would have flown completely off target, wasted a whole bunch of fuel. So. Now all we need to do is get to about the 90-degree mark. Focus center here. Get to the 90-degree mark, which is it's actually easier to do it this way. There. Make our node. I'm gonna go. Actually, need to cancel this. Turn this on. I'll blow out my node. Okay, add maneuver. Oh, what's it doing that? It's a little weird. You know, I think I have this kinda in the wrong spot. That should. The thing is, you just basically need to eyeball it. You want it so that's level and as high as it can be. So, okay, that's about it. Well, this is actually a lot more Delta V than I expected. Why don't I just let the lander do it? It'd probably be more efficient. Yeah. Alright, what says for me, I can probably turn this down some. It says the best I can do is 173 if I do it manually. Let's see what the computer says for landing. Because that's really going to put me close. 173 is going to leave me almost no headroom for landing. Where are we at? I don't even see our craft. I thought it was over here. Well, that's weird. I hope this isn't going to crash. I don't see us. We're here. I just don't see us. Should be an icon right there. It's not counting us as debris, is it? That'd be a little weird. Oh, because we're not Moonlander 8, we're Moonlander 7. I forgot this is an older mission. I was looking for Moonlander 8. Where am I at? I was using to the little rover icon. I'm like, this is moving. This is in orbit. Alright. Go and shut that garbage off. Let's go ahead and use MechJeb and tell it we want to land here. So let's do landing guidance. Okay, it picked the green target, but I definitely want to modify that because it's going to land me on top of something else. Moonbase 2, 62618. Wow, that's a lot of digits for such a small distance. I was changing it before by 5 or 6, thinking, okay, that's got to be it, like 60 meters, right? No. Those seconds are actually very small spaces. 151 to 33. 151 to 33. Okay. We're just going to land on top of the flag, since I know that that's an open spot, and the flag, who cares if we break it? Put another one up. Okay. Auto warp, use RCS, blah blah blah. Let's let it do its thing. $177. So that's pretty good. That's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. Boy, you know, I sure hope this thing has enough fuel to land. This is all guesswork. It's not like I ran calculations before the mission. I just made a guess how much fuel I needed just by knowing, you know, how much delta V it generally takes to do certain activities. I kind of guess, okay, I know this needs about this much fuel. So, if I get both of these craft here, and let's land them safely without running out of fuel, and that's a pretty good calculation. If I run out of fuel, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I don't know if this is gonna land us this time around or if it's gonna skip and go all the way around. Sometimes after making an angle adjustment, it'll just skip and then make a second circle, and since it's only warping at times 10, it's painstakingly long. No, it looks like it's going in. It's going in for the kill. I'm curious what the delta V prediction is. 600. Oh, you know what? I think we're gonna crash. There's the 20% warning. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it. We're off by about, can't see the numbers ticking by so quickly. We're off by about 50 delta V. I don't think we're gonna make the landing. But we may as well give it a shot. There's the 10% warning. Did I shut these off? Shit, I didn't. You know, that could have actually been a fuel sucker. If it was doing maneuvers using that, it would have actually sucked down fuel. This is not looking good. It says it needs 200 delta V. We have barely half that. There is mono propellant, but yeah, this ain't looking good. It's probably gonna hit the ground pretty hard. But we'll at least watch the carnage. It will automatically kick over to RCS thrusters once it runs out of main fuel. there's no way that the RCS thrusters are going to be able to provide enough thrust. 5, 4, 3. There we are, we're out of fuel. We're going to hit hard. We're going to hit at 60 meters a second, so this would be nice. Yep, see, holy shit, they're still alive. And they're rolling downhill. This is hilarious. I didn't think they were going to be able to survive. Well, they haven't stopped yet. I'll be damned. So if I really was not going to do a game restore, I at least have these guys. That's pretty funny. I wonder how much of that other debris is salvageable. This one's still sliding, it's hilarious. Alright, I only need to bring up a save game. A lot of times the Fraps doesn't like that, so I'm going to go ahead and pause Fraps. Okay, we're back. I did reload the save, and I'm ready to go ahead and take off again. So I'm this time going for 7 kilometers. I'm just going to risk running into a mountain to see if it's going to save enough fuel to get us in the landing. So. And I also shut off the burner ports. I think these firing throughout the orbit was probably what ate up my fuel. Because I should have enough Delta V. 1300 should be enough to go in orbit and land on the moon. So, here we go. It's so neat watching it turn quickly like that. I forgot to open and close the thing, but it hasn't fallen apart yet, so I'm not going to mess with it. Usually after a game save, I would do that. I guess it falls apart. It falls apart. So I've got 6 kilometers. I know some of the mountains are at least 5K. I thought some were 6K. So that's why we're going to do a 7K orbit. Maybe that little bit of difference. Because remember, it's every K I go up is another K I have to come back down. So if I keep it as shallow orbit as I can. Should be good to go. Udry's freaking. Elroy's like, woohoo! We're just gonna let the autopilot circularize the orbit at 7K. Ascent complete. So last time the angle change cost about 175. Let's let autopilot do it again. Verify that the coordinates are correct. We want to land on moon base 2. So 626.18, 151.2, 30, so 33, 151.2, 33. Okay, so it saved the coordinates. It's going to put us right on top of the flag. That's it. Let's do it. It has plenty of time. because it does it at 90 degrees. There's plenty of time to set up the angle and do the landing, so let's see if it does it like it did last time. It took about 175 delta V last time to do the change. Let's see. Yeah, okay, it's about the same. That still puts us in a pretty scary situation. If I still can't make this landing, if I run out of fuel again, what I'm going to have to do is strip the ship down of extra weight. It's probably going to mean leaving one of those containers behind, stripping off some of the extra parts. Really didn't want to do that because I wanted to use a lot of those parts. But do what we got to do. Okay, we have 573 delta V left in the craft. Let's hope the landing is less than that. You see how close I'm cutting that orbit to the planet, to the moon. Although I don't see any big craters between here and there, I probably could get away with I could probably get away with a lower orbit if I really had to. Maybe a 5K. It's kind of pretty close as it is. Look at the altitude. I'm getting close. But I do have about 2K to play with. So if we don't make this landing, I'll try a 5K orbit. Ooh, again, it looks like we're not going to have enough fuel. It's a lot closer, though. It's almost close enough that monopropellant might be enough to keep us from hitting the ground too hard. So let's just let it go down and see what happens. Otherwise, it's a safe game, and I'll try 5 kilometers. And then, if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to strip some of this stuff off the ship. This is really... gonna be tough. Here's the 10% warning. Delta V 250 needed, and we're only up about 220. It's better. It's not 100 off, it's 30 off, but 30 is still a lot. I don't think monopropellant is gonna be enough. I only have 8 thrusters of monopropellant on one side, so yeah. I don't know, we'll see. This is a tough craft. It might be able to take a 20 meter per second fall, but it probably wouldn't be pretty. The fact that I can drive this around and it's mobile makes it very valuable, so I'd prefer if it lands on one piece. So little amount of fuel. That's it. Monopropellant, as you see, is trying very hard. But, yeah, we're going to hit it 40 meters a second. There's just no way the craft is going to survive that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try for a lower orbit.